Hello, my name is Julian Chavarro. I'm 19 years old and I'm studying pharmaceutical chemistry at Icesi University in Cali, Colombia. Throughout my life, I had the opportunity to visit a lot of places because my aunt has a travel agency. The most interesting trip is known like Trip to Colombia, in which the people visit a lot of small towns, a lot of cities. I did this trip 3 times. The first one when I was 5 years old, the second one when I was 12 years old, and the last one was when I was like 15 years old. So, having said this is a summary about my trip.
The first place was Bogota. Bogota is the capital of Colombia. It is the largest and most populated city in Colombia. This city has a cold climate, so try to pack and wear many coats. It should be noted that the traffic of the city is very bad. For this reason, moving around Bogota is complicated. When I arrived there, I ate a typical Bogotano breakfast, tamal and hot chocolate. Additionally, I need to say that in Bogota, the best almojábanas are sold after Santa Rosa de Osos. At lunchtime, I ate ajiaco, a typical soup from the Cundiboyacense region. Personally, I don't like ajiaco, but many people love to eat this soup. On the other hand, you can do a lot of activities being in Bogota. For example, you can go to the Gold Museum, you can go to a mall or amusement park, among other activities. In my case, I went to the Jaime Duque Park. This park is in the outskirts of Bogota, and it has a scale representation of the Colombian map, the Caribbean Sea, the Taj Mahal, and some wonders of the world. In short, I decided to know the world while I was in Bogota. This is a recommended family activity if you visit this huge city. After being in Bogota, the trip continued to the north of the country. I arrived in the Boyacá department. I visited small towns like Tibasosa, Paipa, and Sogamoso. All these towns have a cool climate. In Tibasosa and Sogamoso, I visited the central square of those towns. However, Paipa has an important monument and you should go there if you are in Boyacá. This monument is called the Swamp of Vargas, and it represents the Battle of July 25, where they fought for the freedom of New Granada. There they faced the army of Simón Bolívar against the army of José María Barreiro. This dispute was key to get the freedom of New Granada. For this reason, in this place exists a monument that represents the battle. On the other hand, this place is characterized by making different products based on feijoa. This is a typical fruit from Paipa. When I was there, I tasted a feijoa ice cream. This has a peculiar flavor and that, unfortunately, caused me a headache. The next step was to go to Bucaramanga, the capital of Santander. It is necessary to say that the roads of that department are very curved, so it is advisable to buy a lemon and eat it during the trip. Before arriving in Bucaramanga, I visited the emblematic Chicamocha Canyon, one of the most beautiful places that I've seen. In fact, this place was postulated to be a wonder of the world. The first time that I visited that place, the Chicamocha Canyon only had a lookout. However, actually, in this place you can do a lot of activities, such as practice extreme sports, do a trip in a cable car, or the typical chivas, or you can eat in restaurants. If you come to Colombia and you are in Santander, Chicamocha Canyon is a mandatory stop. When I arrived in Bucaramanga, I noticed the great beauty of the city. Without a doubt, Bucaramanga is one of the most beautiful Colombian capitals. I ate culonas ants, and I like it because the flavor is very similar to the peanut. Also, I visited small towns like Girón, and in this town live the largest number of Rom people in Colombia. In the central square from Girón, they read your hand. In addition, I went to Guajira, that is considered the most beautiful town of Colombia. The vallenato was starting to play in the streets when the course was going more and more towards the north. In this time, I arrived in Santa Marta, the capital of Magdalena. This city is considered like the most beautiful bay in America. This city is very hot, but also has strong winds. When I was in Santa Marta, I visited the touristic zone, El Rodadero. This zone has restaurants, hotels, museums, and malls. Further, I saw a monument that was made in honor of Pie Valderrama, considered like one of the best midfielders in the football soccer history. I went to Magdalena Junior headquarters. This is the football soccer team from Santa Marta. Likewise, I visited Boritica, a place near to Santa Marta. It's very touristic because in this place, the Magdalena River flows into the Caribbean Sea. If you are there, you can swim in the river or in the sea. Also, you can eat a typical ripe banana with cheese and bocadillo. The next destination was the department of La Guajira, one of the most neglected departments by the Colombian state. However, it is an awesome place. If you go there, you can observe the trains transporting coal. Also, many companies that are responsible for the production of salt are in La Guajira, especially in Manaure. Afterwards, I went to Cabo de la Vela, the northernmost town of Colombia. The first time that I went, the reception was totally discouraging. Many children and young people asking for food, toys, or water to the people who were inside the bus. The other times I didn't observe this, because I found out that the government had prohibited these practices. After this, we arrived at the destination, where they received me with a typical lunch, rice with coconut, goat, and patacon. The sunset in this desert area is spectacular, and at the night you can see how the crabs travel around the beach. The peculiarity of the place is that you must sleep in hammocks. The next day, I ascended to the sugar pylon, where I can see the wonderful desert landscape along with the Caribbean Sea. It should be noted that in this department live an indigenous tribe called Wayuu, one of the most representative indigenous tribes of Colombia. This indigenous tribe lives off the sale of their crafts, which are woven. For example, a hammock can cost 2 million Colombian pesos. They have their own dialect, and many of them don't even speak Spanish. The next city was Cartagena, which is recognized worldwide for the great history that this city has. Proof of this is the large number of foreigners that are in the city. Cartagena, in my opinion, has the most beautiful tourist zone of Colombia, because it has a walled area which was built in colonial times to defend against troops from other countries. These are remains intact. Also, Cartagena has the famous San Felipe Castle. It was also built at that time. If you are in Cartagena, you can buy different tour packages to take you to nearly beaches such as Barú, Playa Blanca, Islas del Rosario, among others. Seafood is the protagonist in these coastal regions or coastal cities, and there are all prices. This is a video of the New Year celebration in the touristic zone recorded by me. In this area, all the important companies have parties with famous singers or DJs. Arriving almost at the end of the trip, I arrived in Tulum, a small town located in the department of Sucre, south of the Colombian coast. This place has a beautiful maritime landscape and has pedicabs with music at high volume. Pedicabs made me the tour around the town at a very favorable price. Being in Tulum, the people have two options: visit the San Bernardo Islands or visit Coveñas. The first time I went to Coveñas, which is a closed town with a very clear and calm water. The other times I have the opportunity to visit San Bernardo Islands, which are a set of islands. The first one is the most populated island in the world. The other one is the President Island, and only the president can stay there. The third one has a museum and zoo, recently closed thanks to the bad condition of the animals. Another island is exclusive of the Cameron Hotel, and the last one is Mucura. This island has an incredible beautiful beach and a crystal clear sea. Finally, the city of Medellin was visited, but before arriving there, I did a stop in Santa Rosa de Osos, a really cool place that has a really paisa gastronomy: beans, pork rinds, ground beef, but mixed with hot drinks thanks to that climate. It has a huge bus stop where they sell a lot of food, crafts, souvenirs, and that's where I tasted the best almojábanas in the world. While I'm in Medellin, I went to the subway, the Metro Cable, and the Botero Plaza.
So this was a summary of my trip, so I hope that you like it and you want to go to some of these sites. So see you in another video. Bye.